Hey guys, Dusty here. Today I'm reviewing the new Dynablast from Asics, and this is Asics' third shoe that features their new Flytefoam midsole. They came out with the cheaper Roadblast model, and then they have the higher end ultra cushioned Novablast model. And now we finally have the new Dynablast from Asics, which fits in between those other two models. So actually I recently reviewed the Novablast, which is a more expensive shoe than the Dynablast. And this shoe has a ton of the new Flytefoam in this midsole. Actually a pretty fun shoe to run in. It doesn't feel anything like any other Asics out there. This is a very bouncy feeling shoe. The only downfall of this shoe though is there's almost too much of this Blast midsole. It has such a high stack height that it's highly unstable when going around corners. So a really fun shoe and a great daily trainer when you're going in a straight line, but any sort of cornering, and probably everyone that has this shoe will tell you that's its biggest downfall. So since that review, Asics has launched their new Dynablast, which I was really excited for because it has less of the Blast midsole than the Novablast. And to get into some stats on this shoe, it has 28 millimeters in the rear, 16 in the forefoot, for yes, a 12 millimeter drop, which is pretty crazy. I don't think I've ever ran in a 12 mil drop shoe before. I'm not entirely sure it feels like 12 millimeters when you put it on. It does feel like a high drop shoe, maybe like an 8 to 10, and I'm not sure why they did that. Having a 12 mil drop shoe is probably going to scare away a lot of potential buyers, but for myself at least I didn't feel like the drop was 12 mils when I was running in this one. Men's size 9 weighs in at 8.4 ounces, so you're getting about a whole ounce lighter at a men's size 9 compared to the Novablast. I love this colorway in my Dynablast. And as far as the upper goes, it's a knit upper. I actually don't think it's going to be that breathable. The upper is nice and soft. However, I think on a hot day there could be some issues with ventilation. Everything else about the shoe is just fine. No issues with the tongue. It's just a normal tongue. It's not gusseted or anything. Laces are fine. Heel cup has a bit of structure to it. You can hear it there. And it also has these two plastic plates for just a touch of added stability. The padding in the heel is sufficient. As far as the outsole goes, it's fine. Plenty of rubber. It actually looks very similar to the outsole of the Novablast. And as far as life of a shoe, you should be getting more on the higher end when it comes to the Dynablast. Now, how does it feel? To be totally honest, I was a little bit underwhelmed when I first started running in this shoe. I didn't feel any sort of bouncy or trampoline-like effect like I did when I ran in the Novablast. And I wasn't expecting to be as bouncy of a shoe, but I was thinking maybe it'd be a little bit bouncy. You can actually see in this quick little comparison, I have Novablast on one foot and Dynablast on the other, and you can just see how much more softer the Novablast is than the Dynablast, especially in the heel. Although with that being said, it's still a very nice ride. It's much more stable than the Novablast. I had no issues cornering in the shoe at all. I did do a few pickups or surges in the shoe, and the responsiveness is decent in the shoe. Personally, probably not a shoe I would run in. I have a huge array of racing flats, and that's what they're made for. But as far as having a shoe for a daily trainer, this has got to be near the top of my list, kind of compared to the Cloud Flow, maybe the DS Trainer even from Asics, which is a pretty different feeling shoe. The Dynablast for me fit true to size. I know on some other reviews, people that have really narrow feet might have issues with this shoe. And I don't believe it comes in a narrow width, so it definitely fits a normal to slightly wider sized foot. So this shoe for me, like I mentioned before, is going to be one of my many daily trainers. So I'm editing the video right now, and I totally forgot to mention how much the Dynablast costs. It retails for 150 Canadian or 110 US, which is a decently priced shoe as far as a high mileage daily trainer goes. So it's going to be my shoe for easy runs, for long runs. I might even consider using this shoe for the odd tempo run, but as far as race day and speed work, I'll probably use something a lot lighter and more responsive. So overall, I'm very pleased with my new Asics Dynablast. I would say the only cons for me is if you have ran in the Novablast before and you liked how bouncy and trampoline-like it felt, the Dynablast doesn't really feel like that at all. It feels closer to a normal running shoe, but it still provides adequate cushion. It's not a super firm feeling shoe like, you know, the DS Trainer. It's kind of a nice middle ground, but you aren't going to get that really bouncy effect like the Novablast. And then the only other really minor con to the shoe is the upper. I don't think it's going to be that breathable, especially on really hot days. Other than that though, I think Asics made a really great daily trainer in the new Dynablast. So if you're looking for a new shoe to eat away those daily miles, give the Dynablast a shot. And I'll put a link down below in the description where you can find a pair, and I'll see you in the next video.